resident of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, the reason why the Juno Awards even have a rap category. Together with Michie Mee and the Dream Warriors, he built the foundation that the genre is built on. Hell, if Canadian hip-hop had a flag, those three would be on it. Hey, I'm Jay. Let's talk about Maestro Fresh Wes. Born Wesley Williams, growing up in Toronto, specifically North York and Scarborough, his father exposed him to a broad range of music. Rap, jazz, reggae, or calypso, he heard it all. Upon his father returning from a trip to New York, he brought home 3 records: Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang, The Breaks by Curtis Blow, and Adventures of Rhyme by Jimmy Spicer. As Maestro explained during an interview with the show Q, hosted by Tom Power, linked in the description, the first 2 introduced him to rap, the last changed his life. As he put it, after I heard super rhymes, I thought I had superpowers. That was the one that put the battery in my shoulders to say, let's go. From there set the wheels in motion of his musical journey. In 1983, at the age of 15, he released music under the name Melody MC. In 1987, he linked up with another rapper, Eben MC, to form the group Vision. It was with this group that Maestro began opening for rap acts that would put on shows in Toronto. Now, why the name Vision? Well, simply, Ebony MC wanted a one-word name for the group. To make the group further stand out, their attire was wearing formal suits. To fund the recording of their demo tapes, he would work as a security guard for the Parkway Mall in Scarborough. To make the most of his time, he would work the overnight shifts so that he could write songs while working. Though only 4 years had passed, people began to hear that Maestro was old, finished, and even old school. Why was this? Music evolved. As he put it, it's not just cool opening up for acts who come to Toronto, or making your cute little demo tapes. The next wave is putting out vinyl, getting a record deal. It wasn't about how many parties you rocked. What are your connections in New York? Do you have vinyl that a DJ can actually spin? It was from here that he decided to reinvent himself. In 1988, he went from the name Melody MC to the name Maestro Fresh Wes. Eventually, he scored a spot on Much Music's Electric Circus performing his classic Let Your Backbone Slide. Now, sidetrack, what is Much Music and what is Electric Circus? Well, you have to understand, at the time, there was no social media and there were no streaming music services. Besides listening to the radio or talking to someone else, watching TV was the only other place to consume music. For Canadians, that meant tuning into the nation's music station, the channel Much Music, which was number 29 where I lived. A particular show known for this was Electric Circus. Typically, you could expect to discover dance music on the show, but it eventually evolved to include other genres. Now, back to Maestro. As it turned out, dance artist Stevie B was watching Maestro's performance. From there, Stevie B connected Maestro to LMR Records. Through LMR Records, Maestro released the single Let Your Backbone Slide from his debut album Symphony in Effect. This album eventually led to him being the first Canadian black artist to release an album that was certified platinum, that being selling 1 million copies. This album was then followed up by The Black Tie Affair. Unlike his debut, which had very party-friendly music, The Black Tie Affair was more socially conscious. As he put it, this is me making an impact on my community. In particular, the song Nothing at All not only discussed racial issues, but also the treatment of the Indigenous community in Canada. This album was then followed up by Maestro's Own in 1992, and Nah, This Kid Can't Be From Canada in 1994. Between 1998 and 1999 put Maestro at a bit of a crossroads. Firstly, he was in search of a second record deal, as his relationship with LMR Records was coming to a mutual end. Secondly, he feared being forgotten about. 10 years had passed since Let Your Backbone Slide was released. Had he not released any new material, he feared that the next generation of music would forget the body of work he released during this time. Thus began work on the album Built to Last and the song that would eventually become Stick to Your Vision. As he detailed in that same interview on the show Q, working with the producer Frankenstein, they formed the demo version of the song. During this time, the song was called These Eyes. From here, Maestro eventually connected with Randy Bachman to gain sample clearance for the song. And as most know, Randy is a member of the Guess Who, the original group that Stick to Your Vision is sampled from. Clearance was only given after Randy requested that the original lyrics of Chicks from Every Nationality Grabbing My Anatomy be changed to Chicks from Every Nationality Showing Hospitality. The song was then given to Maestro's good friend and producer Too Rude, the demo was remixed, and the Canadian hip-hop classic Stick to Your Vision was created. For me, this is actually when I began listening to Maestro. One afternoon after school, I was in the kitchen probably making something to eat, and I had much music playing in the background. I then heard this. So I then ran to the TV to watch the rest of the music video. Now, was it the Guess Who sample? Was it Maestro's flow over the beat? Was it the visuals of the video? Whatever it was, I had to find more music from this man. It was through this song that I discovered the roots of Canadian hip-hop. This led me to discover the awesomeness that is Cardinal Official, Choclair, Rascals, Julie Black, Socrates, and many others. Now, spiritually, you need to be reminded about what resilience and perseverance looks like, and this song gave life to those words. I mean, you could rename the song to Don't Give Up on Your Dreams. On a personal note, it's one of the few songs that 12-year-old me could actually relate to, as he was dropping references that I could actually understand. From the events in history to the places and institutions in Toronto, I could see all these things in my mind. Not only was the song made by a guy who grew up in the city that raised me, but the equally dope music video was directed by a guy who grew up in that same place. Now called Director X, but then called Little X, he directed this video and many other music videos that I grew up on. Next to the song They Reminisce Over You by Pete Rock and CL Smooth, I would even say that this is one of the few songs that showcases the beauty of what hip-hop is. Today, Maestro has expanded beyond music. Be it stepping into the moving ring with Four Brothers, flexing his TV and acting muscles with the show Mr. D, or his radio chops as a DJ on 97.3 in the Maritimes, he has definitely diversified his skill set. Since Built to Last, he has released 5 albums. Ever Since, Orchestrated Noise, Coach Fresh, Champagne Campaign, and Rap Prime Minister. In between all of this, he hosted a super insightful TED Talk. I recommend that you all check it out. He was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and was even awarded the Governor General's Performing Arts Award. During said TED Talk, he stated that the one piece of advice he would always give is, don't make records, make history. With a career like this and with no signs of ever stopping, he most certainly has. Now, the majority of this video's content was taken from Maestro's interview with Tom Power on the show Q. If you're interested, you can check it out in the video linked in the description. Thanks for watching.